Hey, what up, party people? Welcome to the Timeless Gamer Show, where our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will remain timeless. And we are now live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And to get to our previous episodes, you know what to do. Just go to the Timeless Gamers Show YouTube channel, or just go into our website, timelessgamers.com, or just listen to us talk to all of our said episodes by going to your favorite audio streaming platforms out there. And previously on the show, what we did, vroom vroom, the old school racing game. So if you're a maniac behind the wheel and you're interested on what games we covered, you know, take a back seat. You know what to do. And for this episode, hey, it's our Halloween special. Um, so we decided to talk about video games that features zombies. Ooh, it's thriller night, guys. Thriller night. So joining us tonight will be We got Sir JDM Wonder Marcos from 123 Go Retro. Sir JDM.
Hello guys, good evening and welcome back to Timeless Gamer Show. And tonight I'm in an undisclosed location. Here you can see the Sampayan. And welcome to the Halloween special of the Timeless Gamer Show.
All right, thank you for that, Sir JDM, and of course, Miss Ensign Porter.
Hi
Where you
everyone,
at?
welcome. I am at home. Welcome to the Timeless Gamers. I just got home from work just in time for this episode. So I hope you enjoy our zombie filled episode and type in your zombie filled games in the comments.
All right, thank you for that, Miss I, and of course, welcome back to the show. It's been a while, Miss Hino.
Hello, everyone. It's been a while. Can't remember the last episode I was here, but I decided I wanted to join our Halloween special. Hope you guys enjoy.
All right, thank you for that, Miss Hino, and of course, his third return on the show from California, Sir Jose.
Hey guys, welcome to the Halloween special. Thank you guys for having me again. It's been fun being on this show.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Jose. Short and sweet. Okay, from the west all the way, coming now to the east side, Sir Jobo, Banyaga native.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Welcome to our Halloween special talking about the really popular genre that has popped up in the last few years, zombie games. We really hope that you guys enjoy this episode. And, like Noli De Castro says in his Halloween episodes, you guys, we hope you guys have a frighteningly good time. Back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Joel. And now we will gonna proceed with our show and tell. In this segment, the crew will now show and brag the things that they accumulated for the last few days or so. May it be physical, may it be digital, may it be video games, may it be toys, may it be music, may it be paraphernalia, anything within the nerdy culture. But with a twist
And open.
and open to some.
Show and tell
Now,
and open.
because we're trying to press because we are so pressed for time, we are going to make the show and tell a little bit quicker. So whoever goes first, each panel will have at least no maximum 3 minutes to do their show and tell presentation. So who wants to go first?
Well, before Miss Hino goes first. Go ahead.
Miss Inu wants to go first. All right, Miss Inu.
So
What you
it's
got?
been a while. Thank you
You got
for
3 minutes.
welcoming me back,
Go.
guys. So, yeah, it's been a while, and lately I've been getting some PS5 games. Actually, my siblings wanted to borrow my PS5, and me, I only have RPGs. So I went to Marketplace and looked for games that they're interested in. that I'm also interested in. So it's a win-win. The first one, the CD's with them. It has no cover, but it's Miles Morales, the PS4 version. We love the first game for Jedi Last Order. So we have Jedi Survivor, uh, Hogwarts Legacy. So yeah, the I won't be able to use the PS5 for quite some time since it's with my siblings. And lastly, on a different note for my last haul, art book of the Tail Concerto game on the PS1 Tail Concerto game from the Little Bronx series. So I really wanted
Oh
to
my
get
god.
this because the artist for this one is also the same artist as for the anime version of Escaflowne, um, Chrono Cross, and for the Little Tales Bronx games like Solato Robo, Fuga, Melodies of Steel. So yeah, I would say it's a pretty thick art book with tons of illustrations. We have characters, we have interviews. Now, I don't know if we have storyboards. I'm not really sure if they are planning on releasing an international or like an English translated version. Right now, we have the Japanese version. So they released Kel Concerto, and then they also released, I believe, the art book for Fuga, but they didn't release for the in between games Solato Robo. So a bit unfortunate, but I'll also be grabbing a copy of that one as well. So if there's anyone who's a fan of the series, I believe you can check out Amazon, maybe Amazon Japan, and Mercury and other online shops. That would be all for me. I still have time. But yeah, back to you guys.
All right, thank you for that, Miss Hinu. I love that Hotel Concerto. Unfortunately, it's only in Japanese though. All right. Who wants to go next?
All right. If nobody wants to go, then I'll probably just do a really quick one. This week, I really didn't order much. I Of course, everybody who knows me, how my video gaming is, knows that I do love fishing video games. And this week was the release of Real Fishing, the latest release of the Real Fishing series, Real Fishing Days of Summer. This is actually a sequel to an old PS4 game that came out with visual novel elements, not very
Not
deep fishing
fooling.
mechanics.
Old PS4 game. It's that.
Yeah,
It's that.
a PS4
It's that
game.
long ago.
Yeah, I mean, the PS4 came out close to 10 years ago, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to like the PS2 game. I was thinking of a different game from
No, no, there
Natsume.
is
A
Same.
there,
different.
there is Real Fishing for PS2, but this one is a sequel to the PS4 game Real Fishing Road Trip Adventure. This one is same characters, same visual novel presentation, same general mechanics of fishing, and yeah, very simple. Anybody who wants to get into it, easy playing. Real Fishing Days of Summer is the way to go. And actually, I've just found out that the Switch version has a free keychain with it.
Keychain.
I didn't even know. I'm gonna have to buy that now. You were about to say,
Oh,
Messini.
yeah. So, what is the goal of the game? Is it to catch fish or is it to catch girlfriend,
There's
boyfriend,
both
whatever?
actually. You can. Both are an objective. You know, if you wanted to, then
You know,
you can
I
have
love
that.
fishing in my
I
RPGs
mean,
and I love visual
I
novels.
mean,
So that's
there's plenty of fish in the sea, right? Okay,
right.
and the thing about it is, recently I've just been digging around my old stash, and I just found an old documentary that I bought that I never got the chance to watch. The new 8-bit Heroes. It's about building your own Nintendo NES Famicom games. This documentary is all about people who build their own homebrew games, and I'm looking forward to watching it over this weekend. I just completely forgot all about it, stashed it away, and this came with a free copy of NES Maker. I guess it's a way if you get inspired by the documentary to make your own NES Famicom game, then you can do it yourself. NES Maker is also available on their website. You can, for all of us who have had the fantasy of making your own Japanese Famicom and or American NES type of game, the software is available, I might give it a crack. You never know. All right, that's it for me. Back to you, Joe.
All right, thank you for that, Sir Joel. And 20 seconds to spare.
Mm.
Miss I, what you got? You got 3 minutes.
I only have one game, and maybe out of character of me, but I bought FIFA 15 for the 3DS. It's because recently I just binge watched Ted Lasso all the three seasons because I was trying to make the most out of my Apple TV free subscription. And the last FIFA game I played was back in high school, and I'm not sure. This one, if you could see FIFA, this is part of my collection. This one. Uh, the last one I played was FIFA World Cup 2002 Korea Japan, and now this with Lionel Messi on the front. The gameplay is quite different, and I'm still trying to learn. I ain't got no time to learn yet, but I will. I will learn to play the game. So this and the cool thing about this one is it's been on my Shopee cart for like 2 weeks, and I think the sellers know if they have their items on their prospective customers' uh, carts because the price of this one dropped from 350 pesos to 275. So I guess the person wanted to get this out of his hands quickly. So I think the sellers do know if their items are gonna be sold soon. So just tip for Shopee and Lazada buyers out there. Keep it in your carts. Maybe the sellers will drop it.
Hey, it's true. I can imagine that the seller actually sees 315 people have this in their carts. You might want to offer it to somebody. Yeah. Oh, and the nice thing about the FIFA games on the consoles anyway, you can actually set it AI versus AI match, and you can just watch them play. Just don't even have to worry about playing it yourself. You just imagine yourself watching an actual game. But that's one of the things about it. Okay.
So, but we don't have our English friends here since we're talking about
Yeah.
football.
Is that
Yeah,
one
this-
the one with the Ted Lasso team?
The FIFA 2023. That's the one with the AFC Richmond.
Okay.
I think the last FIFA game that I played was the World Cup 1998 with the song from that one hit wonder song called Tum Tumping by Chumbawamba. That was the last FIFA game that I played.
I thought you were going to say waka waka.
Same.
Nah,
I
that's
thought
10 years
I thought
ago.
you were going to say Blur, song number 2 by Blur. Yeah, anyway,
Uh,
that one was a good one.
All right, thank you for that, Miss I. How about her, Sir Jose? What you got?
I just have a bunch of old PS3 games that I picked up at my local GameStop. I just have Black Ops 1.
Call of
Nice.
Duty.
Hey, I'm
Injustice. More
Another
Call of Duty.
Yeah, another Call of
More Call
Duty.
of
Dynasty,
Oh, Dynasty Warriors, very
and
good.
then this
Fantasy Warriors and
Genesis.
Sega Genesis.
No,
and
I
Genesis
want that.
Collection.
I
Or
want
Sega
that
guys are not here.
Genesis collection.
Yeah, the Sega Genesis Sonic Collection, that's a really good one because it has unlockables. And a lot of the unlockables are really, really good. Like Fantasy Star 1
Yeah.
is an unlockable in that collection. So really good.
Somebody
really
bought
good
it ahead of me. It was in my cart, but somebody checked it out
Ah.
before me.
Well, that
Darn
just
it.
goes to
Oh.
show you, Miss Hinu. You snooze, you
Snooze,
lose.
you lose.
You snore, you lose more. There you go.
All right. Thank you for sharing that, those, Sir Jose. So, what's the cheapest that you got from that haul?
It's probably Black Ops. It was like $5, I think.
Hmm.
$5
Yeah.
PS3. Okay, not bad. How about Sir JDM? What you got?
I got nothing. De nada. Nada.
I got nothing.
Tune in next episode.
I thought you were gonna sing Whitney Houston.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll go last. So the latest that I got, and I only got this because I know Sir Jose is gonna be here, and I want him to be proud of me. I got that theaterism
Oh,
for the PS4
Very
only
nice.
because I want to hear the Xenogears and some of the some of the other Square PS1 soundtrack. I mean, they're all here,
Are
right?
those,
Yeah,
Paid deal are those paid DLC or what? You can unlock them as you progress.
I think they're DLC.
Oh,
You
oh
need to
no,
pay.
that's fine because I can cheat my way to get those.
Yeah, there are
By the
still
way,
DLC that you can buy at this time.
why don't I see any timer for Sergio? Okay.
Oh no, it's
Uh,
running now. It's running. Next,
okay.
I got Trinity Universe for the PS3 US version, which I am very proud of getting this because I saw it. I saw it in RCEX. Oh, US version! I said. Now I can cheat. Now I can use my cheats to play this. And then I got Legend of Legacy for the Switch. Markdown
Oh,
price,
okay.
Nice.
our local game
Nice.
store. And then I got this Gaia 4 for the Vita. And then Trails of Cold Steel 2, both still sealed from the Facebook Marketplace. I had to go to the guy just to get these. And of course, Trails of Cold Steel 4 for the
Four.
PS4. Yep. And those are it for now.
All
Mostly
right.
JRPGs, as you can tell. And yep, that's the show and tell, guys. Thank you all so much. Now we will proceed with Sir Joel. Zombie games. What are they? What's the fascination about them? Let's go.
All right, let's do this. So for this Halloween episode special, we are going to be talking about zombies. Why zombies in particular? Well, I made that selection because of the fact that they seem to have gotten really popular in the past, shall we say, decade or so. A lot of zombie games came out. Lots of games that feature zombies or you fighting zombies, and as opposed to vampires, as opposed to werewolves, as opposed to mummies or Frankenstein monsters, zombies have entered the zeitgeist because of a number of reasons, I believe. One is because they're relatively feasible as a monster. They can actually, of the monsters that I mentioned, they're the ones that actually can happen because of disease, because of medical experimentation, things like that. Also, they're, you can fight them. Vampires, you're basically screwed. They're extremely fast, they're extremely strong. Same with werewolves, they're extremely fast, extremely strong. One bite from either of them will turn you into either a vampire or a werewolf. Same with zombies, but zombies are shuffling mounds of stinky doom, and you can you can at least you can kind of bash their brains in. So that's kind of why I attribute the popularity of zombies. They're feasible enemies. You can actually choose to you have actually tactics of fighting them. So for tonight, the sheer horror and dread of facing something coming at you, not just one thing but also multiple things. And the biggest problem that you have is getting trapped and cornered. So that is a really big problem. For tonight, we are going to be talking about our favorite zombie games that have come out in the past. No limitations in terms of dates this time. We can talk about any zombie game that has come out in the past or up to the present. So tonight we are going to be talking about what our favorite zombie game is, why we like it so much, what the mechanics are, what gives it so much of that dread fear factor, and why we would recommend it to all other friends. So for tonight, we are going to be starting off our discussion with JDM Juan de Marcos of 123 Go Retro. Tell us what your favorite zombie game is and why you like it so much, and elaborate on the mechanics too.
Yes. So for me, zombie game, it's going to be um, Killing Floor series. I'm going to say series because there are two games in the series, and um, Killing Floor 1 and 2. I mean, Killing Floor 2 is like an upgraded version of the first game. So story is there's this um, laboratory that is called it's called the Horzin Biotech.
Isn't it always a
Um,
laboratory with zombie
yes,
games, right? Anyway,
you know,
continue.
like your typical umbrella corporation large pharmaceutical company or something like that. So they were um, this there's this large military company that hired them to do clones, um, to mass produce clones of superhuman uh, superhumans or mutants that they need to like just like Resident Evil, your new bioweapons because they're much stronger. And then something happened, you know, typical zombie Resident Evil style. It broke out, and then um, it went out of the laboratory. It killed several people in the laboratory, and it got out. Unfortunately, there was this group of mob who are doing like a peace rally against this horse in biotech, and unbeknownst to them, there were these zombies called Zeds. They were zombified clones, and they were called Zed, or Zed in um, British is like letter Z, right? And
Z stands for the letter Z to the Brits.
yes,
Yeah.
and the premise is in London, England, by the way. So um, electricity has gone, so communications has been down, and I think it was planned because they were trying to destabilize the government in England, maybe throughout Europe, and then they tried to hire the British Army, some of the British Army, and some mercenaries to do crowd control. And then, um, so gameplay, it's a squad co-op where you can do around 5 or 6 team in a team. You do waves. You defend yourselves from waves of these Z, and there are mutations actually. It's not just as Zeds. There were specialized zombies, so you can encounter zombies that have blades as arms, and you also have this blob-ish sort of creature that spews poison or something, toxin. And then you have these Hulk-like zombies as well that can do massive damage. And all you have to do is defend yourself from these hordes of Zeds. And also, there's this final boss per wave, and it's called the Patriarch. He was formerly like the head geneticist of Horizon uh, Bio Labs, and I forgot the name of the scientist. And he's called the Patriarch because he made himself. He injected himself with the virus, and he modified some like armor so he could control all of these Zeds for his own. And all you have to do is defend yourself from various waves. So it's a team co-op. You can do endless waves of zombies with um, increasing difficulty. You can also do an objective mode where you need to do um, something like operate a train, or even construct devices so you could go to outer space and leave planet Earth to decay, and something like that. It's something that you can see from uh, Call of Duty series, like um, Sorose showed earlier. There's a zombie mode. I think this is where they got the idea from. Uh, Killing Floor 2 is, it's not really a sequel, but it's it's like an upgraded version of the first game. They just added some additional bosses, um, except for the patriarch, which is the matriarch, or the matriarch is the daughter that um, of the previous game. And then they also added some, like, uh mech, like androids in the game, which made it more like sci-fi. So that's it. So by the way, Killing Floor was initially a mod for Unreal Tournament 2004, and um, I think people liked it. Just like Half Life, you had Counter Strike, right? There. It's a mod for Half Life. Then it became like a full fledged game. They released like a full game. You have Counter Strike Source, Global Offensive. It's like that, and it's the same here. They're using Unreal Engine, the engine they used for um, Unreal Tournament 2004, and that was in 2005 when they made this mod, and then it became an actual game 5 years after, and it was positively um, uh, it was uh, it gained positive reviews from players. So they created Killing Floor 2 in 2013, so just 3 years. And I also heard that they're developing a third installment. So I'm really looking forward for that. And that's it. So that's my zombie game that I would suggest if you would like to play with your friends. It's free on, I know, I think it's around $5 in
Yeah, it's
Epic
on
Games.
sale this month with the Steam sale. So if you guys are looking for what looks like an action-packed zombie game, this
Yeah.
looks like it's going to be very enjoyable for you. So this one, JDM, looks like it leans towards the action zombies genre, not so much the the you're dreading turning the corner kind of zombie game, is it?
Yeah, it's not like Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a co-op game that you
Mm-hmm.
need to, especially if you're playing the objective mode, you need to do some teamwork.
Yeah,
Someone needs to, just like Left 4 Dead,
like Left
but
4 Dead. Yeah, I was
yeah,
about to say that. Yeah,
yeah, but
this
this is
seems like
much,
it's something that somebody who played Left 4 Dead and enjoyed it.
yeah.
It
If
looks like this is something that this is something
Yeah.
that they're gonna enjoy too.
Yeah,
Very
and
good.
what I really like about this game is their in-game banters. Like you have this character who has this strong Cockney accent, like
Mm.
um,
Yeah, because it's in
Sir
Britain. That's
Dan. Yes,
why.
and yeah, it sounds like one of the voice actors is actually Sir Dan. I have
All
to
right.
confirm if he
Now I'm
did
definitely gonna
some
have to play
voice.
this now.
And yeah, and
Might as
if
well
you're,
have.
yeah, yeah,
All
maybe we
right.
should ask him in the chats
If
later.
we can ask Dan
Mm,
if he moonlighted as a voice actor for Killing Floor. All right,
yeah.
JDM, good choice, good choice. I'm definitely gonna have give that a try. It looks like I have it in my library. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a giveaway sometime in the past, so I'll have to give it a shot. And does it have? That reminds me. Does it have a single player campaign, JDM?
Um, I haven't really tried, but you can do single player mode where you could just stroll around
Mm.
and do defend the wave
Mm.
for a couple of waves before
Mm.
you meet the like the final boss.
Mm.
And you can also upgrade your, because there are different perks that you can select, like commando. You can do melee. You can focus on melee. You can also use um, like a marksman, something like that.
Mm.
And
Okay,
every
so there's
time you
five.
level up,
Mm.
you get some perks, like additional health and ammo, um, or faster reload, something like that.
Okay, sounds
Additional
good.
load.
I'm definitely gonna give it a try. We've got the whole weekend for Halloween and horror games for this season. Thanks very
And
much, JDM. Good
yeah,
choice. Mm.
also what got me hooked into this game as well is the music. You
Oh.
have a lot of um 90s inspired industrial rock um music, like Nine Inch Nails. It's not from Nine Inch Nails or from any famous industrial rock bands, but
But it sounds like it.
they sounds like it. And
Okay.
there's also some like R&B, like
Hmm.
hard beats, but I really love the industrial music. So because there's in Killing Floor Killing Floor 2, it's somehow like sci-fi because they incorporated steampunk and space age, something like that. So it became more lively. So not
Mhm.
just your typical urban area where you fight the zombies.
Mhm. All right. Excellent choice. Killing Floor. I'm definitely gonna have to give that a try this weekend. All right. Wonderful choice, JDM. And surprise because it turns out that I actually have it. So I'll have to give it a go. So for that is JDM's choice. Really, really good, really good suggestion too. It
The-
wasn't even on my radar, so I'll have to give it a try.
yeah, I mean the first Killing Floor really did look like a
Mhm.
mod of Counter Strike. I mean, to
Yeah.
all of you guys who played Half Life Counter Strike, the first Killing Floor, according to the video footage that we showed earlier, it really did remind me of Counter Strike, especially the way the guy supposedly handles the blade and the guns. I'm like, this is basically Half Life.
Mhm. All right. So, who wants to go next with their choice of zombie games? Miss Hino.
Me,
Miss.
I wanna
Yeah.
piggyback off out of JDM since he already mentioned Left 4 Dead, which is
Mhm.
today's pick for me for the zombie game. Now, I am an RPG slash visual novel player, so um, I don't really play action games that much, let alone multiplayer games. But uh, Left 4 Dead 2 specifically was special enough that I played it multiple times with the family, with my siblings. So a little bit of info here. Mostly the information that I got here is actually from someone who made like a mini doc on YouTube. Credits to Kelski, Kelski from YouTube. Again, please check out their stuff. Very informative video and very succinct for its runtime. So, the game, at least Left 4 Dead 2, was released in 2009 by Valve. That makes it a whopping 15 years ago. And despite it being 15 years old, I believe it's still one of the most frequently played games. Even now, we can see on Steam, and I think it's a testament as to the genius of the game design of this game. So, um, replayability. I think the replayability of this game is insane. I mean, all of the playthroughs that you go through can be different. Maybe someone accidentally, makes a mistake, or a special type of zombie gets them. everything's running so smoothly. You're almost at the end of the level, and then out of nowhere, there's like a jockey or whatnot, special zombie that grabs you, and then a horde comes in. So the whole team is drowning in a sea of zombies, and all of you guys end up, dead. So it, I don't know how they did it, but it's so fascinating that even though your previous level game playthrough with your friends is like smooth sailing and whatnot, but then when you play the next round, there's this possibility that anything can happen. I, I don't know. I really am fascinated by the game design of this. And what else? Due to the unpredictability of this game, I think it challenges the players in a way that they literally have to co-op, help each other play through the stages. Because if you want to play like solo, um, the game won't let you per se. It's gonna have the three remaining characters as AI. So for Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, normally there are four main characters, and you see all four characters progressing through the level. So it really is difficult to progress through this game if you're like there's only one character running around the level, because there's also this possibility of like pitfalls, traps. If you fall off a ledge, you need another player or another AI character to haul you up so that you can fight. But another interesting that Kelsey pointed out on his video was that even though you are four players running through the stage, you only need one to survive. If one person can survive that grueling stage, it's a win for your team. So I guess that's a nice callback to the whole title Left 4 Dead. So as long as you don't mind us, we're gonna sacrifice ourselves. The safe house is just over there. Go, don't save me. I'm out of bullets. I'm out of life. I'm out of meds. I'm out of bandages and whatnot. So yeah, I think it adds this tension to the game. I think it's a mix of action and like the sneaking around, because as I mentioned earlier, um, we have the regular zombies, but we also have special zombies that each have their special characteristics. So it's because of those special zombies, it's like the difficulty of the game suddenly escalates to a 10, and that really adds paranoia to the players. And it makes you think of like smart or ingenious ways on how to defeat the special zombies. I don't know. I think it's a really nice balance of fighting the mindless horde and then encountering this one special zombie that wipes out your whole team. What else can I say about this? Being a game made by Valve, character designs are, I believe, really spot on. Um, all characters have their distinct silhouettes, minus, of course, the generic zombie mobs. Uh, all of the special zombies, as well as the human characters. I mean, you can easily identify them, and just like with Killing Floor, mentioned earlier by GDM, there's also the banter between the team members, so you can really learn more about these characters, and not really necessarily their backstories, but you're gonna get their personality just because of those little banters, and I really like that. And I like the quote unquote WWE intro music if there is a special zombie that's coming in, so that adds another layer, what they call this, auditory layer of paranoia. If you hear this specific sound effect, you know that there is a witch somewhere within the vicinity. If you hear this other sound effect, it's I think it's just genius. You're not seeing them, but you know they're there. So uh, really, the devs are amazing for thinking about that. And what else? I hate the witch. I'm scared of the witch. And there's a witch nearby, and you can hear her crying. It's either I freeze on the spot and let the horde eat my character, or I run away. I leave my teammates. I won't necessarily survive. I'm just gonna run away. No, no, no. You cannot expect me to move logically or whatever. If there's like a witch nearby, I don't know where she is. I don't know if I'm near her, but yeah, if you all, I'm gonna leave you all left for dead. What else? Yeah, more praises that uh, has been given to this game is that the attention to detail really good. For example, the hit boxes. For example, in fighting games, we know that there are specific hit boxes for the various body parts. Same also applies here. If you try and gun down a zombie, hit them on the head, there's a specialized animation for that zombie as they crumple down on the ground. Or if you hit them on, for example, the shoulder, they just do that or whatever, depending on what kind of weapon you're using. It's it it's just the little things that I think give more oomph, give more character to this game. And I've heard from Kelsey's video that uh, I think there's a ton of different dying animations for the zombies. I don't know if it's up to 100, but it's so satisfying to see. Because, for example, if you're seeing a bunch of like zombies in front of you, and then you use whatever weapons are at your disposal, you throw a grenade, and then you gun some of the others down, you're gonna see the different types of animation playing out, and you're really gonna appreciate the I killed that one with a grenade, I killed that one with like a baseball bat and whatnot. And I think it's really fun. I mean, that attention to detail, they didn't have to do that. They really didn't. But if you play like maybe a different game, a similar genre, like an action zombie game, and you see that all of there's like limited cycles of animation that's playing, you're suddenly gonna see like the difference, and then it makes you appreciate the developers more, that they didn't have to do this, but they did it because yeah, I believe the project is special to them. What else? Yeah, I think this replayability. I'm not someone who normally plays a game over and over and over and over. Uh, I want to finish a game and done. I'll touch it maybe after 10 plus years. But I'm always, what they call this? I admire developers who can develop video games that lets players play the same game for 1,000, 2,000 hours or a decade, and still have a fresh experience every time they play a level, every time they play with their buddies, or they have a different set of friends. It's always a different feeling. There's this comedic uh, element to it as well, because yeah, it's hilarious. You're running away from your friends, and they're just hanging off the cliff, and you can't go near them because there's like a, what do you call that special zombie, the big one, the tank. The tank, you can't help your, okay, I'll just go to the safe house. It's funny. It's not a game that I usually would play, but I think it's all about the fun. On the scale of fun factor, this game really high up there. So to anyone or who are more on the younger side of our audience, who's not familiar with the Left 4 Dead games, I believe they're relatively affordable on Steam. Tons of mileage. Recommend. Fun experience. That'll be all for me. Back to you guys.
It's on
Well, I
sale now.
have to say, yeah, I have to say I played a little bit of Left 4 Dead, the first one, and it's I can say that it's got a really good balance of. Actually, I was gonna say the zombies here are not the George Romero type of shambling mounds of doom, the slow moving type, but they are the 28 days later type of zombies that move fast. That will kick your behind on before you know it.
World
And
War Z.
well, there you go.
That's the worst kind of zombies. The zombies that can really move fast. I
Mm,
mean, because we were so conditioned with the Resident Evil kind of zombies that they really move slow, which understandably so. Because you
mhm.
don't think that they have the brain capacity to make you move fast. You're not supposed to be that animated if you're supposed to be dead. Supposed to be dead.
Yeah,
It's
and
just it's
yeah,
just more
rigor
it's
mortis
just
is supposed to,
it's just so it's more scarier that way because you
mhm.
don't know if you can outrun them.
Although,
They're n-
JDM, you're about to say.
they're not the they're not like the zombies that we have in the backdrop for the episode.
Oh
So
yeah, that's true. Those are the Plants vs Zombies type of zombies. I was gonna say though, yeah, the thing about Left 4 Dead, both one and two, is that that's Valve at the top of their form. They did the very best thing that they could have possibly done. I mean, in terms of zombies, in terms of action games, and the thing about it is, it's still got a good balance of action, blood pumping action and dread horror. You know that there's stuff going on right around the corner and you're afraid to go there. But once you do, and it's time to start blasting zombies, it's go time. It's time to start shooting them left and right. So excellent choice, Miss Hinu. Left 4 Dead series, always almost always on sale on Steam for cheap, really good prices, really good replayability, amazing game selection, Miss Hino. All right, very good. Who wants to go next?
How about we
Uh,
go with Sir Jose?
yeah,
Nope.
let's have Jose. Jose, what's your choice of zombie game? Describe to us the mechanics, describe to us why you like it, and try to convince us to play it.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be hard because my choice is Zombie Revenge for the Dreamcast. It also came out for the arcade. It is a beat 'em up game, and it's actually also a spin-off of the House of the Dead series. So the three main characters are actually AMS agents as well as the characters in the House of the Dead. There's even a level that takes place in the Kyrian Mansion. So in this game, it's basically just a 3D Streets of Rage, but there's zombies. You can use weapons. You can use your
Oh,
fists. Um,
okay.
and you just you're going from one end to another. There's bosses in between and at the end. The game though is notoriously hard. So that House of the Dead level I've talked about, I've never even actually seen it. I just know that it exists. I always die like 2 or 3 episodes in, and just like House of the Dead, the voice acting is so bad, but it's so good. um, so you can play up to 2 players. I think this is one of the bosses right here. Yeah. So you play up to 2 players. Like I said, the game's really hard. So like maybe use some cheats to get to the end, but I've never actually been able to beat it on the credits, and I imagine in the arcade it's even more of a quarter muncher. There was a PS2 version that was going to be released, but they canceled it for some reason. But the game's not really scary per se. It's just like House of the Dead's very campy. Um, and I don't know if there's much more to say about it. It was just like a quick little game I thought of.
No, I mean it looks like it's a lot of fun, honestly.
It's fun. It's just hard.
Mhm.
I mean,
Reminds me a little bit of
how hard is this?
It's pretty hard. Like I've never
Mhm.
beaten it. Like it's that hard. I've,
Controls. I mean,
like
kind of because it kind of reminds me of the earlier Resident Evil games.
mm,
And the one thing that I hate about those games are the tank controls. How are the controls in this game?
No, this one you're moving fully in 3D. There's no tank controls, but when you're trying to aim like the guns, it's a little weird. Like you kind of have to be on point. Or
Oh,
you're
okay.
yeah. I think you're better off
So it's
like
not like
punching.
it's not like when you press the A button, it just
No,
shoots
yeah.
automatically.
You could be completely missing them if you're not aiming correctly.
Oh, really? It's one of
Yeah.
those games. Okay.
Sir Joe
JDM, I
with
think you have an
the
opinion on this.
Sir Joe with the tank controls and the inverted controls.
Fucking
Well,
hate those.
personally speaking, it reminds me a little bit of the one with the mitochondria, the game. What was that?
Parasite Eve.
Parasite
Parasite
Eve.
Eve.
Yeah, Parasite Eve, a combination of Parasite Eve and Power Stone. Looks like it. Like
Yes.
hmm, it's like a third person perspective from the top down view, three quarters, Power Stone mechanics, and but real time Parasite Eve, like targeting. So it looks like it might be fun to try. But like you said, Jose, it looks it's one of the harder games of the genre that you can say, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, so what's the story here? I mean, why is that lady fighting some zombies? I mean, what caused the outbreak in this one?
I don't know if it really ever says. It just says top secret government plans to utilize the dead for military purposes called UDS. Undead soldiers thrown into darkness by some unknown entity. A year later, the city becomes ravaged by zombies. Three of the best AMS agents are sent in: Stick Bretling, Linda Rada, and Rikuya Bushujima. They're sent out to eliminate the enemy and track down the mysterious leader of this attack, known only as Zed. So it doesn't really give a reason as to why. I'm assuming it's just the same reason in House of the Dead, since it's a spin-off
All
of
right.
it.
Because I'm assuming if you're going to play this game, it's one of those games that it just immerse you right immediately. I mean, it doesn't really provide enough exposition in the beginning of the
N-
game.
No,
I
yeah,
mean, you're just there,
it just starts off. You're in that little room, and then the zombies start coming.
right?
Well, that's I.
And you can
Sorry.
play like three different characters here. I see.
Yeah,
That's
Pretty
another good
characters.
thing. Yeah, that's another good thing about zombie games. You really don't have to have all that much of a reason. You see zombie, you shoot it, you fight it.
yeah,
You just go
Either you
at it.
fight or you run.
Yeah, I mean, like with vampire games, you try to understand their persona. Like, why did they spend millennia trying to become this immortal undead because they were looking for their lost love, whatnot, ick. Whereas with zombies, you see one moving in a very bad gate headed towards you with the objective of eating your brains. You fight, you shoot, you just keep going, and there's really not much of need for a motive or a reason. It's hollow husk of a human that you have to take down, and I guess that's another thing that zombie games has an appeal. You don't need to be totally invested in the story. I mean, it's a nice little bonus if you find out that there's this world-ending conspiracy to create zombies because to replace humanity or whatnot. But yeah, you just see a zombie,
Oh,
go shoot it.
I love the fact that you can use the El Mariachi guitar gun.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
There's that. That's true. That's true. All right. Good choice.
Right.
Good choice, Jose. I like it. I'm if there's a chance to play this, I think I will give it a try. Hard video games.
I think it's one of those games, Sir Joel, that it's
Mm,
enjoyable if you have someone playing along with you.
yeah. It is. It is.
mm. Yeah.
I mean, it
Or
looks fun. If like is it a two player or three player game?
It's
I'm
two
guessing it's
player.
two player game. Two player game, yeah.
I,
yeah.
one comment I like about Jose is that he mentioned that the voice acting is so bad, is so good. Sometimes you just need like a badly voice acted game because everything's so theatric right now. If cinematic, I mean. for
Mm.
modern games, and just having these little blast from the past where voice dubbing isn't as professional, as highly
I
produced.
mean, how
I think
I
it's
mean,
fun.
how bad of a voice acting we're talking about here? Like, you almost became a Jill sandwich, kind of bad acting,
Yeah,
It's worse.
basically.
right?
All right. Well, we have a comment here on the chat. Marlon Eliscupides is saying, anyone who remembers Zombie Tsunami on mobile phones. I've never had the chance to play that, Marlon. I'll have to give that a shot. Zombie Tsunami. Okay. Well, good suggestion,
Zombies,
Marlon. Thanks very much for that one.
huge tidal wave of zombies coming at you.
I mean,
Hmm.
it sounds like it's going to
Literally,
be.
like zombies, like a big
And,
wave shaped tsunami of
yeah.
zombies.
Like Sharknado or something?
Yeah, Sharknado, something like in similar. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
From a Sega game to a Sega Mega Master. Let's ask Viraj what his choice of zombie game is, why you like it so much, what the mechanics are, and try to convince us why we should play this one.
This is the game in question.
Zombie U. Well, I just saw that, or I just saw that yesterday on my CAX.
Tell
Right.
us all about it, Viraj.
So this is a release title for the Wii U. It has actually for those who don't have a Wii U, do not worry. It had a port to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox system as well a year later. And was it a year? Was it a year later? Am I talking nonsense here? But yeah, in August 2015, so actually 3 years later, it got a port. But this is the game, and the story of this is. Nintendo actually went to Ubisoft and said, "Guys, can you make an adult game for our baby console?" Because Nintendo is more for a young audience, but they really wanted to get more mature titles on the Wii U, and this was a hit. And this came in the box with my Wii U, actually. As you can see, it's quite a dark game and an incredibly dark game. But basically, there's a zombie outbreak. It's taking place in London.
Literally.
Yeah, very, very. It's quite. There are a lot of jump scares in this. You start off in a safe house as a character. When you respawn, it'll be a random character, and there's a prepper, and he's talking to you and telling you what to do. And basically, all of London is infected with zombies, and there's a doctor he's got the cure in Buckingham Palace. So you have to make your way to the palace, and yes, it employs elements of stealth. You have a Molotov cocktail, a gun. You can smash a zombie's head in with a cricket bat and all sorts of things. So it does employ elements of Resident Evil, but I would say it's a much more kinetic game than Resident Evil. It's much more full on. It's a much more immersive game because there is a story and there are some sad little. I remember there was a segment in the game where you find an Indian family in their little convenience store, and one of them is someone's trying to nurse their dad who's been bitten by a zombie. You know what's going to happen, right? So it's one of those things where you have that. Obviously, you got puzzles and lots, and it fully utilizes the Wii U pad as well. So that's one thing I like about it. It fully utilizes this pad, which has a touch screen on it and everything. And that's what I really liked about this game is that it used all the features the Wii U had to offer, which made it so immersive. And there are many people who say, "Oh, the Wii U sucked" and all these sorts of things, but if you had a good game on it, it was beautiful because you were truly immersed, and you could get the dual screen experience by configuring with your backpack and playing with the puzzles here, as well as looking at things on the TV. But yeah, it's a combination of stealth, making sure you use the right weapons, making sure you don't run out of ammo, making sure that you explore. I mean, exploration is actually encouraged throughout all the sections of London that you explore, because that way you can find all sorts of items and whatnot. But yeah, the reality situation is you are going to die. You will die a lot in this game. And it is a trial and error game, and you have to be patient. Very atmospheric, no goofy music. The zombie sounds are frightening, when you hear them moaning away.
Quick question, Viraj, before you continue. How accurate of a recreation is it of London?
So as those of you know, I work for the underground services, the metro system, the tube service, the London Underground. And you start off in a London Underground station, and it's not accurate at all. It's fiction because I know the way a station layout should be. So obviously it kind of spoils it for me because I've lived in this city. But it's got the same sort of vibe and feeling of what parts of London is like. So I'm not going to sort of besmirch it. And to be honest, you don't want it to be an accurate representation as well, because if you know where you're going, because you know the city, where's the challenge, right? But yeah, quite a dark game. Very difficult to see, as you can see from this segment here. You have a little flashlight on the end of your gun. Oh, it's a lovely little nightclub here. So it can really get from points where it's very quiet from the beginning, but it can get really full on later on in the game. So what I will say is the challenge goes from it's quite moderate to very, very difficult, unless you start exploring and getting all these upgrades, all these items that you need, ammunition, weapons and whatnot. But I mean, there's not really much I can say about this. I mean, it's a hard sell because it's on the Wii U, and it's one of those, unless you have a Wii U, so Joe, play it. It's a good one. This is probably cheap as well. I think that's what I'll say. It's probably one of the cheaper games on the system.
I saw this game. I saw this game in the CAX, and it is rather cheap.
Yeah. It's
Fast or slow zombies, Viraj?
I think okay.
Fast
You got
moving.
zombies. It's not none of this like 28 days later zombies where they're running at you at a million miles an hour. These are more I say realistic zombies that you kind of would expect them to be. They're the undead, aren't they? They're not meant to be running at you at a million miles an hour. But whatever. It's the world that we're in here. But definitely a unique game for what it is. It's not like any other zombie game, I have to say. Yes, it employs elements of Resident Evil, shall we say, but it plays differently, and there's a strategy to it. It has its own unique strategy as well as to how to get through every level. But definitely, if you're easily spooked and you're prone to jump scares, because this game does have them, maybe it's not for you if you don't like that sort of thing. But it's quite dark as well, so it's going to be very difficult to see some of the areas. That's my only real critique with it. Sometimes I felt it was a bit too dark. It's like, I can't bloody see where that zombie is. It's too dark, and you got a little flashlight at the end. You got a little flashlight, but then the battery starts to run out and you have to recharge it or whatever, stuff like that. But look, for its time, I think the graphics look amazing for 2012 for the Wii U. But yeah, this is one that I'd recommend you guys give a go if you have a Wii U, or if you just got a PS4. It's called Zombie on the PS4. That has like a melee mode online. I think they've added an extra feature to that. Mm-hmm. But obviously you lose the capability of playing with the Wii U pad, which is the way the original was intended to be played. But yeah, that's really all I really have to say on this game. But as you can see, it is a horrific game.
Like, how freaky is that? Like, your character is supposed to crawl inside that vent. And then you'll realize there's a zombie crawling in against you. Oh my God.
And you guys go face to face with each other and start kissing or something.
Every level has its own. Oh my God, what's all this about? What's happening here? I didn't expect that. That's what I like about this game. As you progress, it's a new scenario. It's something new. It's not like the same old. Yes, there's darkness. I mean, look at this. This is clearly a scene from Nosferatu. It is quite scary for what it is, and you're, oh God, there they're coming. This guy's coming. But you get used to it. My brother's really good at this game. He actually said to me, Viraj, I got a Switch, but I miss Zombie U. Can I borrow your Wii U? And I said, yeah, fine. This was a couple of years ago, and he had a good. He went through this
feel like Zombie U should have been a direct, if not a spin-off or a one-off branch, should have been a you could have told me that this would be a Resident Evil kind of game, like after Resident Evil 4.
Well, there's that guy crawling around that,
right?
The problem with this game was it was launched on release, and what's the detriment of having a game that's launched on release for a brand new system, guys? Can you tell me?
It's the fact that it uses the early technology and it wears out very quickly.
Okay, so from a business point of view, okay, how many Wii U's were sold on release? Not many, to be honest.
Not many, no.
And I only got it because it was packed into my particular Wii U. And even though there are so few launch titles, people would have probably bought Zombie U. As time went on and more games got launched, this people stopped buying this, or it didn't sell as much. And what the problem was, Nintendo were trying to appeal to an older demographic, but the problem is, because what Reggie Fils-Aime said is, well, the U in the Wii U is saying, we've listened to what you've had to say. you love our Nintendo stuff, but you also want our awesome third-party support. You know, you also want that. And this is or exclusives or whatever. And this is where the direction they were going to. They're trying to appeal to mature customers. But the fact of the matter is, it's too late for that now. The reality situation is back then, people will play the mature games on the PlayStation or Xbox. Nobody cared. Nobody's going to buy a Wii to play a mature game. They want Nintendo for the Nintendo stuff. That's the truth. And this flopped. It didn't do well as a game. It failed financially. And there was a sequel planned. But if this game is financially not going to do well, it's not worth it. And because there's only the Wii U only sold 13 million units worldwide eventually to its end. On release, there was barely a million, maybe, but not even a million units sold, I believe. So this game didn't even shift 1 million units, I believe. So why would you make a sequel that's not making the money? And in the days where these were having big budgets, this is a big budget game. You can see from the graphics and the work that was put into it. It's not going to do well. It's a shame because it is a good game. It is a good game for what it was. And a lot of love was put into this, but not enough people had the Wii U or the exclusive format to buy it. But like I said to you, Sir Joe, it's cheap. You can buy it, experience it, and have a laugh with it. Now, that's the beauty of it. But it's worth, when you play, you guys, it was worth more than the bargain price that I paid because it's actually a really good game. So those of you who don't have a Wii U, fair enough. Give the PS4 Zombie. It's just called Zombie on the PS4.
Yeah.
But those of you who have a Wii U, why not just pick it up? It costs nothing. It's a good laugh. Worst case scenario, you don't like it, you pay nothing, you get nothing for it. You pay very little back to trade it in again. But this is a game that's actually really good, I would say, for the Wii U. I know a lot of people criticized it. Got mediocre to positive reviews generally when it came out, but there was one odd glitch that my brother had when he was playing it. But I've had a glitch with the new Zelda game recently. So you're going to get the odd glitch every now and then, but otherwise, it's a good little game that you might want to give a go. Zombie U for the Wii U.
I think that is also available on PC, if I remember correctly, Viraj, right? So for those of you who are looking to play Zombie U,
it's available on Windows as well. Yes.
Yeah. So for those of you who are looking to play Zombie or Zombie U, I think that one of it the non-Wii U version comes out as just plain Zombie, right? Viraj, if I remember.
On PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, Windows.
Yeah, I mean, as a person who likes playing zombie games, despite the fact that the missus and the kid absolutely hate it when I play, they just leave the room when I do it. That I definitely give this one a try, which is ironic because the missus absolutely demolished and finished the game Plants vs. Zombies, but then again, there's no horror to be found on that game. Anyway, so good choice, Viraj. I think this is a good time to put a commercial break, Joe. We are in the 1 hour mark, and take us away.
All right, so hit it away, Streamyard and BitMap. Do you like playing video games? Do you like reading about history? Do you like learning about video game history? Then you should give yourself the gift of owning some video game history books from BitMap. Since 2014, BitMap Books have published numerous colorful and well-detailed hardbound books about video games ranging from the different video game consoles of old and the various video game genres that will surely pique the interest of its core fanbase. BitMap's team of global video game journalists, players, and illustrators have produced numerous award-winning titles that celebrate the software, hardware, and developers that laid down the foundations for the billion-dollar video game industry we all know and love today. International shipping is also available with careful and considerate packaging from BitMap Books. If you don't want to take my word for it, then you can believe the people, almost 10,000 satisfied customers who submitted their glowing written reviews and video reviews after receiving their books from BitMap. By ordering your first BitMap book using our link, you will also be supporting the Timeless Gamers Show in spreading our love of video games and their rich history. Start your own online live streams, webinars, podcasts, online classes, and virtual presentations with Streamyard. By using Streamyard's user-friendly interface, you can also do simultaneous multi-streaming if you have accounts to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and other platforms. If live streaming is not your style, video and audio recordings are also available, especially with those who have variable and inconsistent internet connections. The finished output will still come out as clear and well articulated exactly as you originally intended. You can also customize the appearance of your presentation, like green screen effects, facial touch-ups to smoothen out those facial blemishes, multiple cameras for multiple guests joining in the discussion, your own wallpaper on the background, adding your own logo as a watermark, sharing videos from your own computer or other website for added visual aids with or without audio, uploading your own background music if you wish to set the mood when talking, and lots more. Before you can enjoy all of the wonderful full features of StreamYard, you can start with a 14-day free trial by using our link. Not only that you are supporting the Timeless Gamer Show, but you can see it for yourself how easy it is using StreamYard. Alright, thank you for that, StreamYard and BitMap. So, we are talking about zombie games, ladies and gentlemen. Who be next?
All right. I think Miss Eileen, of Ensign Porter, should be the one who goes next. Miss Eileen, what's your zombie game of choice? Actually, very quickly, before Miss Eileen goes, again, we like zombie games because of the fact that they can be fought. When you go up against one, at least you know that they were once human and that you know what their weak points are. The head, smash their limbs, their legs. Crotch hits probably don't work, but I would say
Unlike the creatures from Silent Hill, which you're gonna be scared forever for many years to come. It's like really eternal damnation. But for zombies, you can just pew, 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 pew. Good
Yes.
point. Really.
Very true. Very true. All right, Miss Eileen, let's hear what you got.
So, in contrast to others' choices, my game is called Zombie Tycoon, and this one, it is not actually a horror game, and it is also not a tycoon business simulator type game. This is actually a real-time strategy game, and I think they put tycoon in the title because you are kind of conquering or trying to take over the city. So you try to destroy buildings, and that makes you kind of own the buildings, making you a tycoon essentially, something like that. So in this game, in this real-time strategy game, you control three hordes of zombies, and you wreak havoc in the town. And you are in most horror zombie games are horror games. This one is more on the silly side, and you are the one doing the terrorizing. So it's silly fun that is for all ages, I would say. I forgot which what ESRB rating this one has, but I guess it's also for kids because it's really lots of harmless fun. Well, harmless for us humans, but not for the humans in the game. Too bad for the humans there. So you thrash the city, destroy buildings with your zombie horde, and take over clinics to turn the patients. This feels weird. Feels weird saying this because I'm a healthcare worker, and you turn the patients into zombies. um, so there, you have three types of
Goes
zombies.
against Miss Eileen's professional ethics so much.
Those poor patients. So you have green zombies, red and blue. There aren't really any differences when it comes to statistics of those zombies. It's just like a color coding so you could spread out the zombie hordes, because there are also missions where you have to prevent humans from escaping the map, and you need to place your zombie horde strategically, because one it's hard to pan over the city. You have to maybe learn the patterns where the humans are running, but it's actually quite a difficult game. it looks silly there, and it's like you're just bashing and bashing, but there's actually some strategy into the game. So you get weapons and gears to equip your zombies, and sometimes you end up with really silly outfits, like I shared in our group chat. Because one time my zombie is wearing a bikini with a fish on his hand, so he's slapping humans with a fish while in swimsuit with all those gory dead skin. It looks silly. In this game, the objectives are laid out clearly, so you won't get lost in what you need to do in this game in each level. And considering also that this is for the PSP, this was released, by the way, in 2009, so it's quite dated. The cursor in the game is at least, I would say, somehow accurate, because again, the screen size is quite small. So um, uh, I'm not sure of the terms. I'm just taking the term from Miss Hino earlier, the hitbox, something like that. It is quite accurate considering the screen size. Some civilians are harmless. There are also civilians who are attacking you, either the police or somebody that throws something at you to attack you. Because again, they're the terrorized humans, so they need to fight back. Again, you are the terrorizer, and they are the terrorized humans. This can be quite challenging, like I said earlier, because maybe the earlier stages are easier, but as you progress, it gets harder, and you need to actually plan on how to attack and what equipment you need for certain puzzles. And like that one, those zombies look like they have balloons, but that's so they could what you call this? There are actually some bear traps in one of the roads there, so that's one equipment you need to get past. Wait, no, it's not the bear trap. It's the I think they had an excavation on the road, so they have to float over the the excavation. So it's cartoony, like I said. And for the bear traps, you have like crates, uh, maybe crates of fruits, something like that. So they wear it as shoes. They walk over the bear traps. It's really cartoony and fun to look at. So when your zombies die, again, there are three zombies there. As long as you have one of each type, you could still respawn them as long as you get back to the hospital. It doesn't have to be that all zombie hordes are in the hospital. Just one color is enough. But for instance, there, if you lose all your green zombies there on the screen, you cannot respawn them anymore. So you have to maybe make up for it on the other zombie colors. But that means you cannot spread them as much because you only have two groups now. One thing I also found difficult in this game is you cannot rotate the screen. So when they get behind buildings, it does get a little translucent, but it's still obstructive to your view. I would say this game, to convince players, is something you can play quickly on the go. I think it's 30 minutes a level on average. And again, it's not scary compared to most zombie horror games. It's just something quirky that can maybe brighten up your day on the go. Just so slap humans with fish in your bikini. So that's
Well, good choice, Miss Eileen. I've said it once and I'll say it again. The wonderful thing about having Miss Eileen in this show is that we get to see all these games that you never would have given a second glance at in the time that you've had the chance to see them. I've seen this game every now and then, and I just never really gave it a chance. But now that Miss Eileen has recommended it, I'm definitely going to give it a shot. And it being on the PSP, it's very accessible. If I may, Miss Eileen, this game reminds me of an old PC game called Freedom Force. If anybody remembers that one, where you guide superheroes around the city and try to fight bad guys from an isometric top-down perspective. But in this case, it does feature zombies and the humorous type too. It has humor injected into it. Anybody?
What's the theme of this?
What's your opinion on Miss Eileen's choice?
No, by the way, Zombie Tycoon 2 is available on Steam. So it's
Oh,
accessible.
Oh,
beautiful.
Nice.
just Steam.
I'm
Yes, just to.
Steam. Right.
I'm
Guys,
surprised on how you can navigate because I said earlier that it's quite difficult to navigate, and the PSP had a smaller screen. I think,
Yes.
but I think for its time, it looks nice. It looks really charming, and I think it would also look nice on, for example, like the Switch or the 3DS. I think the graphics can still stand up to right now. Actually, I think you can also, put it on mobile. It looks good. It looks really fun. So yeah, that's a good game to recommend.
JDM, you had an opinion.
guys, I just realized that it's really Miss Enslin Porter who is the culprit in this episode because she's
Really?
the
Why?
one she's the one placing those zombies in our games.
Oh, yes, I am.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
The plot twist.
Yes, that's true. Viraj, would something like Miss Ennislin's recommendation be something that you would play?
I mean, it looks like an Android game.
Hmm.
Looking
It could
at
be.
it,
Yeah.
could be an Android game, and I think they should put it on Android because I think a lot of people it's a lot more accessible to put a game like that on Android because people would buy it and they'd play it because it's a game that you can easily play on the go. I'd see it as a game that would be a really good handheld experience to kill some time on the subway while you're traveling, and I think it's a game that you could really get into if you're in that circumstance. It's not a game that I'd really play on the big screen, to be honest. And all these graphical showpieces in this show, yeah, but this sounds like a game that you'd have fun on the go. I like the fact that it looks like a fun little strategy game with all the little numbers popping away, and I think, okay, let's do this. So it seems interesting for sure.
All right. Good job.
Ironically speaking, it's brainless fun for those
Yes.
people who have nothing else to do, waiting in their idle time. Share.
Yes.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Ironically speaking, brainless fun.
Do you guys remember back then that the tycoon games were so popular? I think that's the reason why they attached the word tycoon to the title.
I mean, like,
Just
I
to
love
have more
tycoon
scales.
games. Absolutely. Just show me a game that
What
has
other tycoon games are
I'll
there?
play it.
Like what? I mean,
Roller
what other
coaster tycoon,
games?
restaurant
Yeah, Roller
tycoon,
Coaster Tycoon, yeah, is one of the most popular.
city
Oh,
tycoon.
Hmm. Railroad
You know
Tycoon.
what?
Yeah.
You know how
Railroad Tycoon.
you know how
Accountant
we have
Tycoon.
Life
Builder
Tycoon. No.
There is a Railroad Tycoon.
Sorry, JDM, you were about to say.
Koji.
you know how we have this slew of simulator games
Yes.
right now. It's like in the 90s it's the Tycoon series.
Agreed. There's Lemonade Tycoon,
Yeah. Then it became because of the Sims. Now you have the simulator.
Oh, man. I was laughing at Sir Joe's
Yeah, exactly.
reaction
It's an
to
expression.
it's like what the
Oh no, is that really a thing?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Yes.
it's a thing. Okay.
It is a thing. Yeah. Mhm.
just like there's a simulator for everything, there's a tycoon
There's
for
prison
everything.
tycoon.
How is that a thing?
Lemonade Tycoon. You build lemonade
Lemonade
stands. You make money. You build more lemonade stands.
Side note, guys. Speaking of lemonade, if anyone's familiar with the Duck Song, the creator of the Duck Song actually posted the fifth video, and it's the end to the series. It's just so random, but everyone was thankful for it. So yeah, to the fans of the Duck Song, look for some lemonade or maybe grapes.
Okay. All right. Thanks very much for that, Miss Eileen. Excellent choice. Zombie Tycoon. I'm definitely going to give it a try on my PSP while I'm on the go, while I'm out, while I'm waiting around for my kid to get out of dance class. Excellent choice, Miss Eileen. I'll give it a try. All right. So it comes down to me. All right. Now, Joy, if you please. The game that I'm going to be talking about, I played online streaming just this past week. JDM was there to watch me, play horribly. It's a game called Dead Rising 2. Now, Dead Rising 2 is a game that came out in 2010, 2010, if I remember correctly, or 2011, thereabouts. Now, the premise of Dead Rising 2, as opposed to Dead Rising 1, is that you are a reality show star. Your name is Chuck Green, and you fight zombies for money. Now, the thing about it is there is a driving force for you to do that fighting zombies for money. It's because of the fact that your daughter is infected by the zombie virus, but you are keeping the virus at bay because of the medicine that people are selling called Zombrex. Now, Zombrex is the thing that prevents your daughter from turning into a zombie, and she has to have it every 24 hours. And that Zombrex costs money to get. Now, you as Chuck Green, you are a reality show TV star. What the heck was that? Joe,
What am I?
Um,
What was he wearing, and what
I
was
think I
that print?
uploaded this is the uncensored version. Sorry.
okay, there you go. Now, the difference between the Dead Rising 2 as opposed to Dead Rising 1 is Dead Rising 1. One of the major mechanics is that in Dead Rising 1, you are a photographer called Frank West. You take photographs for points. Your ultimate goal is to become famous as a photojournalist documenting this, well, kind of like the zombie war. In this case, you are Chuck Green. You are trying to earn money so that you can buy medicine for your daughter. Now, there is a hard limit every 24 hours. You have to give her that medicine or she turns and you fail the game. Another thing about it is, well, it hits me strongly because I'm a father and I have a daughter. And if I imagine that if that had ever happened to my daughter, I would do anything in my power to, to make sure that she is well. Now, the mechanics of the game is it's third person, as opposed to another game that I really like called Dead Island. Dead Island is a first person game. This one is third person. Dead Island, there's difference, but they share a few common themes. The fact that you can fuse weapons together and make more powerful, stronger zombie killing weapons. So you put nails on a bat, you get a bat with that has stronger brain bashing abilities. You put a number of drills on a pail, and it's the kind of weapon that you can put on a zombie's head, and the drills go into the zombie's brain, very quickly killing it. You earn more points for more creative kills, and call it a little bit of a side mini game where with Dead Rising, you can craft better, stronger, faster weapons to kill more zombies with. And the thing about it is storylines here in both both storylines in both the Dead Rising and the Dead Island games actually do matter. They do hit you differently because I like how there's high stakes to all to the stories of these ones of both Dead Rising and Dead Island. Now, Dead Rising particularly has what they call psychopaths. They're basically the bosses of the game. Zombies here are the George Romero types. They move slowly. They you can run past them very quickly. If you just move through them willy nilly, they grab you and they start biting you. But you can avoid them. You can push them aside if you have tactics. Just try not to get cornered by a whole bunch of them or you're going to get screwed. Now, the bosses in each stage are called the psychopaths. And these ones, the psychopaths, are actually still human. And they just have gone crazy because of their circumstances. So in one of the, an example would be the psychopath that you have to fight, which is a co-star of yours. In a reality show who's gone crazy because of the fact that he has always envied you as you were a very famous reality show star in the old days. He idolized you before, but he thought that you had gone soft. So he wanted to prove that he was better than you in every respect. So he'd gone crazy. He started killing actual humans rather than just plain zombies. And it was up to you to take him down. So the more psychopaths you kill, the more points that you get. You can upgrade your abilities. Things go crazy here, as you can see in the footage here. You have Chuck Green wearing a tuxedo riding a mechanized dolphin. It can happen. The nice thing about it is the game has a good mix of horror and still humor inside of it somehow. Because, it's the sheer absurdity of fighting, the undead, and you still find a little bit of time to laugh at the whole thing. So it's all linked together too. The Dead Rising 1, 2, 3, and 4 games have a continuous storyline to them. So they are all connected together. One character that shows up in one game will show up in a latter game. That is, of course, unless they, either die or get zombified. And it's just the one knock that I have about these kinds of games, both Dead Rising and Dead Island, is that the sheer number of the zombies become unrealistic to the point of immersion breaking. You've cleared out the entire room of zombies, and then later, and then as you kill the very last zombie, you turn around. There's more zombies coming at you. Like, am I killing the entire populace of New York here? And then there's still more zombies coming in. There must be an end to this, but they never do. They just keep respawning, and somehow it just feels like it would have been good if the developers can put a limit to the number of zombies that can come at you at a particular time. And
Zombie Tycoon.
but otherwise, it's good. JDM, you're saying?
It's because of Zombie Tycoon.
Because of Zombie Tycoon, because Miss Eileen keeps producing these zombies to come at me. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Miss Eileen being the mastermind of this entire zombie whole thing. She manipulated me to suggest a zombie topic. So that's my choice of game. Dead Rising 2. Particularly, I like it more. Right,
So where's the setting in this game? I mean,
this one was actually set in. Oh shoot, I completely forgot. But it's a mall complex where you go to different buildings of the mall, and lots of different
Nevada
materials can be put together to
Nevada.
make. Yeah, there you go. To put together to make different weapons. It's a nice little mechanic where, because it's a mall, you can see flamethrowers, side by side with machetes, or for you to recover health, you drink a jug of orange juice, or you get drunk on a bottle of vodka, but it replenishes your energy. So Dead Rising, the setting is a mall complex. It's a lot of fun, honestly, and lots of different customizations can be done. Yes, Joe.
Did they mention how the zombies came about, like, or it's just
Yes,
there?
actually, the origin was from Dead Rising 1, where, of
right?
course, experimentation. You
Of
try
course.
to, you try to
T-virus.
yeah, you try to manipulate DNA, and you come out with this wonderful product called zombie. Actually, that reminds me, Viraj, why do the Brits call zombies Z all the time?
Excuse me?
Why do the Brits call zombies Z all the
They
time?
don't. They don't. We call them zombies.
No, really? Okay, because in all the games that I've
Then
played, that have
where did the Z
Brits,
come from?
fighting zombies, they're always called Zeds.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You live there. Tell me.
We call them zombies, man. We call them zombies. I don't know where the Z is. I mean, I don't know. We don't.
That I don't know came from the soul. I don't know.
Yeah, with his whole chest.
No, that's
It came
funny.
from it came from his heart. I don't know.
What is
From the
this?
diaphragm right there. I don't know. No, but the thing about it is,
I've never heard that. I've never heard anyone here call them Zeds in my life.
I mean, in almost all the Brit setting zombie games that I played, they always call them Zeds. I don't know.
Well, you know what?
Maybe because
That's another question for Sir Dan.
Yes.
It's an inner video game thing. I mean, like, in popular culture, yeah, like, obviously we know them as zombies, right? Like Walking Dead, they're called zombies. Well, I don't know.
Although with George Romero films, they never refer to them as zombies.
Yeah.
The only time that they do is in Land of the Dead, if I remember correctly, where they have this building and this guy says zombies, man, they freak me out. But aside from that, in George Romero films, they never call them zombies. Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, the first time ever heard the word zombie was in the Scooby-Doo cartoon, where Shaggy's like, "Ah, zombies!" and then he's running away. I thought, what's a zombie? And I learned from the cartoon, oh, that's what a zombie is, whatever it is. And then games, the zombies in Castlevania games, and it actually says zombie under the villain when you're fighting them. Oh, it's a zombie, and then obviously they were known as zombies, right? And in like House of the Dead, you're killing zombies, right? So and obviously as you watched, like I think my first the horror film, 28 Days Later, and things like that. It's written as a zombie apocalypse in the synopsis, so you learn that's what a zombie is, right? Nobody in the UK calls them Zeds, right? It's the first I've ever heard of that, and it's probably just exclusive to that bit of media. Maybe it's a way for them to say instead of zombies, they say Zeds.
I see. Okay. Well, here's that's just my recommendation. Lots of fun, lots of horror elements.
I have questions.
Yes, go ahead, Missino.
First one, since you mentioned that the gameplay involves you having to synthesize two weapons into one stronger weapon, how many would you estimate the weapons are in the game? Because I would imagine that that's one of like
one of the elements,
the main elements of the game. 100 plus, or
oh yeah, I mean the combinations are quite a lot. Actually, you can even synthesize a wheelchair with spinning blades on it, so while that you can run through a whole pile of zombies through. I mean, it is quite it rewards you for your creativity with the number of weapons that you can make. A rake with that spits acid, it can happen. What you call this? Like I said, the pail where it's like how in old kung fu movies, like the flying guillotine, where you throw a hat and it lands on somebody's head and it cuts off the person's head. I know. I'm a 70s kung fu movie fan. So in this case, it's the pail with drills. So things like that. So lots of synthesizing weaponry, Molotovs, exploding things. You can make them too. Like the propane can, the propane gas tank that you put underneath gas ranges. You can rig that so that it's time to explode in a huge volley of zombies, making jibs everywhere. So yeah.
And about the injection thing, I'm curious. Since there is specifically a drug that's already available to keep like the zombie cells from taking over the body, does that mean that I never played the first game, so does it mean that they ran out of like supply? That's why there's a lot of zombies everywhere now.
Actually, that's part of the plot. The fact that the Zombrex is available is whoever is making the Zombrex is actually proliferating the zombies themselves, so that the zombies will, so the uninfected will buy the zombies.
Right.
That's it.
I was going to ask how exactly. I was going to ask how exactly are you gaining money from this? Like, are you robbing the zombies out of their pocket?
Yeah. That's it.
Zombie tycoon.
There's some change in the pocket.
Yeah, you get rewards for the people that you rescue. I forgot about that. You rescue people, by the way. Certain people are to be rescued, and there's a time limit for them to be rescued as well. Viraj, you had something.
What I find really interesting is this is something you said earlier on, and I'm like, and it's a really interesting point you made, and it's something that I feel as well. It's when you mentioned how you have your own daughter, and how you're emotionally invested in this.
Yes.
That, and you'd do anything. You would burn in hell to keep your daughter safe.
Absolutely, yes.
And I don't know if anyone here on the panel feels the same way when you play a game and there's a story around it. Do you not ever feel like, even a game like something recently, well, I say recently, I played it a few months ago, like Revenge of Shinobi, it's a 16-bit game, but you got to find your girlfriend, right? The evil Neo Z syndicate has captured her. They've killed your master. It's a story of revenge. And in my mind, when I'm playing this game, even though it's a 16-bit game, there's no real narrative throughout it. I'm thinking, no, I'm not going to allow this, man. They got my girlfriend. I've got to save her. Sometimes I feel like that's the drive in me. Even though it's fantasy, it's not even real, okay? but you feel like I have to do something. That's the drive that's in there. Same with so many games. Like even when I was playing Sonic, no, I've got to take out this Dr. Robotnik. He's turning all these little pet friends of mine into robots, man. No, we can't allow this. Or when you're playing Mario, I've got to save the princess. There's like some sort of, you're in your mind, you're like, no, I've got to be the hero. I have to be the hero. I have to be the king. Yeah. Do you guys ever feel the same way? Like, feel emotionally?
Yes, it's the hallmark of a good game that pulls you in and you identify with the character themselves to really,
literally stepping into the shoes of the character. Yeah.
and it's the beauty of a video game as opposed to a movie or a television show. You get to choose the actions of the character based on how you actually want them to.
This is a questionable choice in mine. I mean, there's this game called River City Girls. You play as a girl, but you got to save your boyfriend from some gangsters. I mean, obviously, I can't really get into the shoes of being a girl. But the way I have to flip it is like, okay, my loved one, innit? My loved one, because I'm not gay.
No, but you can still understand the girl's motivation, right?
Right? I'm not gay, but I just like that. Like, it's for love, isn't it?
So he says. Okay. Anyway,
I thought that there was honor in being gay.
Actually, he didn't have to point it out.
Yeah,
we understand.
Yeah, but didn't say nothing.
He didn't even have to say anything.
Dig his own hole. But what I'm trying to say is you get emotionally invested in the story and you feel, okay, I want to help these girls get reunited with their boyfriends. I want to take out the mobsters and all this stuff. And I think the narrative of video games, obviously I'm talking back in the 16-bit days, but now it's out there. The story is a large part of these video games. And that's what things, okay, I've got this. Even like Batman Arkham City or whatever it is you're playing, you're Batman. You got to save. You got to do this. You got to save.
Come on, Viraj, say it properly. I'm Batman. Yeah, there you go.
You have to.
It's true.
Like, there's something there, and so the point you touched on about it's for my daughter, and you actually have a daughter. You probably feel it even more than what I could feel. So it hits your heart, and you feel like, I have to play this. That's a very interesting thing you've raised because it transcends across all genres of video games, doesn't it? So I like that. Well, I like
actually one thing. If I'm breaking the rule here of mentioning a third game, one game that I cannot for the life of me still get through because of the intro sequence is The Last of Us. The beginning part of that game, especially as a father with a daughter, I will not. I cannot, sorry, but yeah.
Like it gets dark. The second
game right from the get-go.
I just opted to watch the series. I can't play the game. I'm too scared. I know I'm gonna be hit with feels, so I'm just gonna watch like the adaptation.
Yeah.
And the name of the protagonist.
That's it. All right. That's my game of choice, Dead Rising 2. Now we get to the man of the hour. Joe, tell us your game.
Oh no.
I'm terrified what game is.
Well, we kept it clean last week. Let's keep it clean this one. Yeah?
Okay. My game of choice for the evening for this episode is Onechanbara Z2 Chaos for the PlayStation 4.
Look at this.
That is a questionable cover that you've got on there. There's a questionable cover.
All right.
Questionable nothing. It's just out there, really.
Okay. So before all of you guys and gals judge me, okay? Hear me out. Okay? Guys, hear me out. Okay. So Onechanbara Z2 Chaos PS4. So actually this game's a hack and slash video game. Okay. Kind of resembles like Bayonetta and Dynasty Warriors kind of game. It's actually one of the it's the fifth installment of the franchise. Let me just show my my footage here.
Yes, help us visualize it, Joe.
I mean,
sure, of course. Okay, so for the story here, so you got two clans fighting each other like a blood feud. The Vampire Clan versus the Baneful Clan. So the Baneful clan, consider them as the undead hunters. Okay, and so of course you got the Vampire clan versus the Baneful clan fighting each other throughout the years, and in this game, they had to join forces. The representative of the Vampire clan and the representatives of the Baneful clan to fight a horde of zombies for who has taken over different parts of the globe. All right. Um, the zombies here, uh, fast moving, and different kind of zombies. You got soldiers from World War II, uh, who can use guns and machine guns. There are zombies who are police officers. Um,
Oof, blood.
that they use knife sticks on you if they get too close. There are some civilian zombies as well, male and female, to be honest. And for the most part, it's just as zombies, really. And every now and then you'll fight some demonic creatures as well. But mostly it's just the zombies. Throughout the depending on where the stage that you're fighting, um, it's like once you go to a certain area, um, this metallic barbed wire cage will show up, trapping you unless you defeat all of the zombies, and you will be graded depending on how fast you dispose all of the zombies. Um, there are different rankings here, like S, A, B, C, and D. D if it took you more than 5 minutes, I think. No, not really. If it takes you like more than 10 minutes to finish a certain area, and depending on how much ranking you're gonna get, will depend um, on the technique that you use, and in return it will reward you with some cash, so that you can use those cash to unlock some certain items in the gift shop option mid game. More equipment, more accessories that your characters can wear. And there are certain bosses here that you'll fight in each area. And one of the things that I like about this game is that the touchpad interface in the PS4, they really use that here. So when you're in certain instances, when you press the game will prompt you to press square and X. If you press that at the same time, that will go into an animation where your characters can deal with with a killing blow. So there will be some arrows that you'll need to follow. So if the arrow shows down, you need to slide down on the on the interface. If the arrow says left, you slide left. If it says go up, you slide up. If it says diagonal, you slide diagonal. So all of the buttons on your PS4 controller will be utilized with this. With your characters, they also, unlike on the other installments, they also gave you the ability to transform into into Super Saiyan form. Um, if you're Because your characters, when they fight with the zombies, expect a lot of blood. This game, for some reason, it is rated mature for excessive gore and violence and
Well, it's got
nothing
blood.
else.
So it should be.
Mind you, it's rated M, mature 18, for gore and violence and nothing else. Okay, God forbid. So when you're slicing and dicing some zombies, some of those blood will get into your characters. They will really get dirty and bloody. And on your if you're gonna see on the top left portion of the screen, you'll see that their life bars are there. If their life bars are surrounded in red, if you press the L3 and the R3 buttons at the same time, they will transform into a more super being um, character, more of a enhanced versions of themselves. They move faster. They hit harder, but unfortunately, the health bar gradually decreases as you use it. So it's it's best to be reserved during boss fights. Um, oh, you can fight solo here, or depending on the availability of your other character. So if you press your touchpad interface, if you push it, there's a good chance that all four of your characters will join the fight at the same time. Although the AI controls all of the characters, um, I find that if you press square, like if you press the same button repeatedly, the way I observed it, whatever you do, they will copy it. So like I mentioned, it's a hack and slash. The more if you press the square button, that's your normal attack. If you press the triangle button repeatedly, they perform a stronger but slower attack. If you press the circle button, they will use their sub weapons more. X is jump. R2 is R2. If you press R2, they will dash. R1, they will block. L1. Oh, so if you're slicing and dicing the zombies, aside from the blood getting to their bodies, um, the blood will also stain their weapons, and the more blood stains in their weapons, they move a little bit duller. They move a little bit slower. So if you press L1, they will get rid of the blood. Like you know how those sword fighters, every other when they're finished with their fights, they tend to swipe the sword so that they can swipe off the blood. They do it if you press the L1 button. Each character also has their own special moves. If you press triangle and circle at the same time, they will perform a super move. There are three gauges: gauge one, two, and three. Um, those are the blue gauges that you see on on the top of their life bars. If you filled up all three gauges, um, they the longer and the stronger their super moves will be. Yep, you can perform a bunch of combos here if you know what you're doing. Proper delays. You don't have to. You don't need to press square all the time to perform attacks. You can do some combinations of square, triangle, and circle here, and some jump attacks. You can get more creative really. Um, I found it really short actually when I started playing this game. It took me 4 days only, 2 hours of gameplay. So in less than 10 hours, I was able to finish the game. It's not really that long, although the first my first playthrough, it's just normal. It's just a normal setting. If you do New Game Plus, it will unlock the hard mode, and according to the websites that I've read, you'll get a lot more unlockables if you played it a few more times. And yeah, that's it for my game.
I'm kind of surprised that Joe actually went for a hack and slash. I don't normally know him as, like an action hack and slash type of gamer. He's very
Maybe it's
methodical.
because he searched on Google zombie with tigbities or something. And
Yeah,
then
that makes sense. That explains it. Okay.
I mean, to be honest, that wasn't as graphically explicit as I thought it would be in terms of skin. I think it was actually quite conservative for you, Joe. I'm surprised. I think you've turned over a new.
very true.
No, that game has a costume that's very revealing.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Okay. All right. So okay. Let's just talk about it. Okay. So if I'm going to convince people to play this game, okay, If I'm going to convince people to play this game, if it's not the zombies, I mean, you know, uh, play for the characters. Really, I mean, look at those. See,
I mean,
um,
they're quite mid in my opinion compared to like what I've seen in other
right?
games. But what I will
I
say is
mean,
that this game
yeah.
does. I mean, to be honest, what system is this for?
So this is for the
PS4.
PS4.
This is a PlayStation 4 game. To be honest, I'm not really impressed with the graphics. I think it looks a bit. It could have been done. A better job could have been done with the graphics for that system. And this looks like a game that could have been ported on the generation before this. It looks like a PS3 game. Personally.
Actually, the Onechanbara series has always prided itself in having low quality graphics for everything but the later models.
Oh,
Everything but.
Look at
The
those.
you
organ
go.
distribution is
Alright,
focused on
that's
the
the
curves.
reason why.
Well, there we
Okay,
go.
okay. So that's the
There
reason why
goes
you
the
should
money
play
shot.
I was going to get my copy so I could show you.
There you go. Jose is showing his
Let go,
copy
let go,
right
let go, let go,
there.
let go.
Come on, Jose, show it off. Show it off.
Right off. There you
Oh
go.
boy.
Oh,
Yeah, and
wow.
this one comes with the DLC for the very revealing costumes.
TNA.
Oxford.
It comes with the code. There
Right.
you go.
So, okay. So
Nice.
I see now where
Man of culture right there. He's the
That's what I
man
was
of culture.
expecting from Sergio. As soon as he
Rated
said the
T
name.
and A.
Right?
Rated T and A.
Rated
By
T.
the way, this is
So look at
it's
he lied about the rating.
uh,
Rated M for
It says
for excessive gore and violence only.
it says partial
Yeah.
nudity as well.
That's
Oh, partial?
the look of disappointment on Viraj's
What's
face.
that partial
Look at the look
nudity?
at Viraj's face.
What? Okay.
by the way,
I'm sorry.
You
What?
you guys,
When we
something
when we say when we say partial nudity, how partial can it be?
I mean, look, it was clean. As far as I'm concerned, it was clean. But as soon as you started showing me the DLC and the Easter egg, then I realized what this is about.
Of course. Yeah, that's why I asked him how did we even end up with this game? Hack and slash for the dude who loves Tig Bitties.
Partial nudity, you
Yes.
can use band-aids on your nips and vag, and the only thing is just don't put the band-aid on your back because it might heal
oh,
up.
All in there.
Oh,
See?
You got the art book.
I think when they say partial, I mean even 95% nudity is still partial nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's saying.
All right, that was Joe's
By the way,
choice on the chat para chaos. JDM, you were saying?
in previous games, I think this is called Vampire Hunter, right?
Yes.
In the previous games, I think it's the PS2 or PS3. They have these guest characters. I think Ninang Joel is familiar with one. Riho Futaba from that game called the one with the giant Demolition Girl.
Demolition Girl. Yeah.
Yes, she's
There
in
you
that
go.
game.
Mhm.
Can I add something?
Sure,
Can I add
go ahead.
something? Okay. This game was a hard choice. No, really, it's
of
hard.
course it was.
It made me hard.
How
Using
hard?
this game made me hard.
How hard does
No,
it
Okay.
well,
So I mean, look at your characters right here. Okay, so representing the vampire clan is the pink haired lady, and then her
doesn't look like
sister, the one in the school uniform, and then the representing the baneful clan will be this lady with the cowboy hat, with the dark bikini on, and her sister, the one with the Godzilla outfit. Now, so between these four ladies right here, I mean, it's one thing to keep on using either the pink hair lady or the cowgirl lady, right?
Mhm.
But for me, and I think this goes for the people who have very specific kinks playing this game, like uh so I like my favorite character here will be the one in the school uniform because she uses the chainsaw. It's just more satisfying when you're using the chainsaw because you can really feel the grinding sound of it when you're slashing the zombies. Like they're really like cutting it down, like ever so slowly, like that. And not to mention between her and the goth lolly character. Say what you will about about the bikini characters. The character who has the most raciest underwear is coming from the goth lila, the goat lolly, the goth lolly character right there.
She's done the
The one with the twin tails. You know why?
She's done the
Because yeah, I mean, uh, every time she jumps, when she does a jump set, when she does a jump attack, like you can see the upskirt floating
Of course, you're
around,
looking at
and
upskirts.
and if and I stream this game, So for all of you people who watch my stream, like I keep like the only I don't have to jump. I mean, there's no enemies in sight, but I keep on jumping. I keep on jumping and pausing the game at a very specific second, just so that I can peek up there. And she's wearing black lace, and I'm like, damn girl.
How do you know it's black
And
lace?
oh
Graphic
yeah, she's
game. You
wearing
could
black
see.
lace, right? And I can tell because I have one too. And the other one would be and the
Oh, you have one too.
oh yeah, I have one too. And especially, and of course
Does your wife
the one
know?
in the yeah, she does. She bought it for me. And the
Oh, I
one
thought
with
you were wearing
with
it.
the,
They
and
share
the
it.
one with the school uniform. She's pretty tame, but although so I do some jump attacks as well, just so that I can see upskirt. And what she's wearing is uh, some white panties, but pretty cute as well. I mean, it's the
Connoisseur.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, it's the
A panty
thrill of
connoisseur.
looking upskirt. Okay,
Panty tycoon. No?
panties tycoon. Okay, say what you will about the bikini characters. I mean, they're there. I mean, it's all right there. I mean, the bits are there. Looking at, I mean, I'm staring at them. They're staring at me. All right. So when you stare at the abyss stares back. All right.
Doesn't
However,
run.
there's no thrill in that. There's no thrill in that.
Come on,
Fuck that.
don't
Real
go
thrill is
Nietzsche
looking
on us.
upskirt.
Come on, okay.
The real thrill is looking upskirt.
I mean, look, for those of us who are serious about video games and serious about true to like how it should really be, I mean, from a practical point of view, like if you're fighting hordes of zombies, like why are you exposing yourself like this? Like wear some bloody armor or something.
Now,
that makes-
in this case, they need to be aerodynamic, Raj. They need to be able to move
It's
really
not
fast.
aerodynamic. You can still get an aerodynamic bodysuit, like a zero suit, like Samus wears in the Metroid game. Something like that will make more sense. Like when I think of like,
No, but Samus is
I
what?
have an answer.
7 foot
I have an
tall
answer.
Amazon, right?
I have an answer. Remember, they need,
Dude.
remember they need to be based on the zombie's blood. The more blood,
Oh, that's
the more blood that they get stained on their skin, the better for them to transform.
The more powerful
That's
they
your
get.
answer.
I see. Okay. I get it.
ridiculous.
That's just an
They
excuse
found the
for them to get
loophole.
naked. That's
They
just an
found the
excuse that they can
loophole.
make.
Vampires don't absorb blood from skin; they absorb it from their mouth. I've seen so many horror films. Yeah, I know it. They suck your blood. Yeah, that's what they do. So the blood is coming in their mouth. It ain't coming on through their skin, and they're not absorbing powers that way. Don't try and make me act like an idiot. Yeah.
Well, that's the mechanic of this game, Raj.
We know. It's
Don't
just
co- we don't
like,
do,
violence.
we don't.
That's why I did that.
Okay.
It's not
Oh, I'm
because of
sorry. Now we start questioning the logic of these games. Seriously.
That's it.
There's no need for them to be dressed like that, and it makes no sense. It's not practical. Imagine if you're fighting in that bikini top; it's not comfortable. Then you
All
don't
right.
feel.
Oh, you know what?
So
I
what?
think
The
let's
game has 5
wait,
installments. They're making money.
Let's ask the other man of culture
Making
who
money.
actually bought the box game. Sir Jose, your thoughts?
Jose, yeah.
You bought the box game?
I want to
Yeah, I
know.
did.
Right, tell the truth. Was it because it was a good game, or was it because of the women? Just tell me straight up.
Yeah, Jose.
Honestly, I did not buy it for the women.
Oh, see?
See? I haven't played it. I bought it because it was cheap and because it was like a special edition.
Okay.
So
Ah.
that was the only reason. But I thought it was funny because I knew Sir Joe was gonna pick that game. So
Oh, oh. To you, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't say anything to Sir Jose, but he just felt it in his heart.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
like he had
It's
the
the
hunch. I
force.
think he
and
had
I
this
and
he
I
had
can
this
officially
lingering hunch.
say and
He's
I
gonna
can
pass.
officially say that we have achieved our episode goal of pissing off Mirage. Okay. And that wraps up our episode for zombie games. Ladies and gentlemen, we love zombie games because of the fact that they can be fought. It can be fun fighting them. And at the very least, you have a chance of killing them rather than fighting vampires or werewolves or things like that. Well, take us home, Joe.
They're fun in so many ways.
Yes. Mhm.
Very hard.
Two big
Very hard to finish.
specific ways.
Very hard to play. It's very hard to play this game. Made me hard. All right. So let's do our shameless plugs. Speaking of, okay, Miss Hino, where can they find you?
Hello everyone. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter/X at Hinotora. I mostly post on IG and FB. And Lucy says hi.
Oh, cute cat.
Hey,
Okay, she's
Lucy.
falling asleep. Back to you guys.
Hey, Lucy.
Bye,
Yes.
Lucy.
That is
Miss
wonderful.
I, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitch. Sometimes stream on there these days. I got back like a month ago. I hope I can stream more. And you can also find my old streams on YouTube. And I also just started a Facebook page just for announcements and maybe even stream in Tagalog there. But I don't know what I can stream there if it's hashtag FUFB. So there, you can find me
Hashtag
there.
FU. Hashtag FUFB indeed.
And
All right. Thank you for that. And Sir Viraj, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Sega Genesis group on Facebook. You can find me on the Sega Mega Masters channel on YouTube. You can also find me on X under Bygone Games UK because I'm a retro game reseller. And I'll be at the London Gaming Market next coming Sunday, on the Sunday the 10th at Russell Square at the Royal National Hotel. That's where you can find me. But yeah, otherwise I'll be on this show every now and then. So yeah, good stuff.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Viraj. And of course, Sir Joel, where can they find you?
You can find me streaming on Twitch and on Cake under the banner Banyaga Native, and you can always find me here on Timeless Gamers Show. We talk about our very best games, our very best memories. But on Twitch, when I stream, I do a variety of retro and modern games. Hashtag FUFB. I'm never gonna stream there again. And yeah, I hope everybody had a good time with our special Halloween episode of Zombie Games. If you guys want, you can continue the discussion in our chats, both here on Facebook and on Twitch, YouTube as well. And yeah, we look forward to hearing from everybody. Back to you, Joe.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Joel. And of course, Sir Jose.
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Dark Gothic Fate. I haven't streamed in a long time, but I'm hoping to get back into it. And that's it for me.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Jose. And because this is Sir Jose's third appearance in the show, he unlocked an achievement. So he unlocked an achievement, the Timeless Gamers Invite. So we would like to take this opportunity to formally invite Sir Jose to be part of the crew, or the TG crew. Okay. If he wishes to be with us full time. All
Yeah,
right.
that is amazing. Thank you so much.
All good
Yeah,
fun.
Miss I and Sir Jaden will be so glad to learn that. Yep, and that's it, guys, for this episode, zombie game episode. Happy Halloween! Happy trick and treating to you guys out there. To
Happy
you,
birthday
you guys
out
and ghouls and guys there.
Enjoy your visits to
Um,
your relatives' tombs and the graves and everything. That's a practice that we have
Yep.
in the Philippines, you know. Mhm. Yeah.
and
Karaoke.
next week,
And
karaoke,
karaoke over the graves,
karaoke,
too. Yeah.
karaoke within the gravestones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next week will be our Yakuza Amazon live action review. We will review about the violence What
Mhm.
violence, according to Miss I?
Gonna drop lots of F bombs.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we will be talking about the Yakuza live action and how does that fare with the video games and some of the controversies revolving around said live action series. All right. So thank you all guys so much, and on behalf of Sir Dan, uh, Sir Drew, Sir JDM, our games and our bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey.
Timeless. All right. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy Halloween. Happy All Saints. Happy All Souls. Enjoy the weekend. See you guys next week. Bye.
Muertos.